That's CeeLo Green.
That dude was a paid actor.
No, he wasn't.
Here, put a little sauce on this thing.
We're getting a lot when we get this coaching. I'm going to stop right there.
Commanders family, welcome into another episode of Command Center. And this one is very, very special. So we had to bring in a future Hall of Famer, one of the best linebackers to ever do it, London Fletcher. And he helps us celebrate the legacy of Washington great quarterback Sonny Jurgensen. Then Logan goes inside the film room to break down more of this Commanders offense. And we'll hear from both of our new coordinators, David Blau and Durante Jones, as they prepare for their first seasons at the helm for the Washington Commanders. All that and more right now on Command Center. Fellas, breaking news to start the show. Punter Tress Way is staying in Washington for season number 13. Because earlier this week, the three-time Pro Bowler signed a contract extension for another season to be rocking that burgundy and gold. Way is the franchise leader in career punt yardage, punts pinned inside the 20, and net punting average. Excited to see our guy Way back for another season, and excited to see y'all here for another episode of Command Center. We are here in the Big Bear AI Command Center studio, and you see it's a little more full in here. Yeah, that's because we welcoming in because London Fletcher in the building. My guy also welcoming in Santana Moss. Fred Smoot
looking real good too.
And Fred Smoot looking good back from San Fran. We let my boy lead a crib, and he came back. We appreciate you for being here, Fred.
Fingers and toes, man.
I was happy my boy made it out of the state. I was happy for him.
And of course, mostly did Logan Paulson, who has been everywhere all off season long, and will continue to do that. Fellas, y'all heard the news about Tress Way, our guy, man. We all love him here. Tan, I'm gonna start with you. How great is it? I'm bringing him back.
You know, I'm very excited for him. Just knowing Tress was one of the only guys that we played with, I played with, that's still here. That's still on the team.
Yeah,
so
that's wild.
Hey man, kudos to Tress, man. Keep doing it. And I think that foot still has a lot of tread on it.
Yeah.
Like he's still booming that thing. Yeah. So man, I'm very excited. I'm very ecstatic, and hey, great job, Tress.
It's one of those things where it's really a no-brainer right there. When you have one of the best punters in the National Football League, you sign that guy. You don't allow him to reach free agency because the value of a great punter, I mean, what he does, pinning teams inside the 20-yard line, all the different things he can do with the football. He is a weapon on his football team, and I'm glad that he continues his career wearing the burgundy and gold.
I call him Sir Lucius Left Foot. One thing about him.
Luscious left foot?
Lucius Left Foot.
Why Lucius? Who knows? Just kind of rhymes, the alliteration.
What he do in a game, like London say, you can't measure it sometimes. Yeah. Like when he flips the field, he changes positions, and it's good to have him back. He's a stalwart. He's the longest running commander that we have.
Yeah, and I think back to when I first got to the Commanders in 2010, and we went through like a revolving door of punters. And so to have this continuity, to have a guy that is as effective as he is and as professional as he is, and really quite an awesome ambassador for the team.
I love him.
Like
Great
all
person.
those things, man, are fantastic, so he well deserved.
And the only Pro Bowler that we had.
There we go.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Shout out to Tress Way, was a starter for us in the Pro Bowl. And fellas, we're gonna have a fun show. It's great to have London in the building. Great to have Fred back. Before we do anything else, we gotta give our flowers and say RIP to Sonny Jurgensen, who we lost just recently. Now, Washington legend and Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen passed away last week at the age of 91. His legacy in the burgundy and gold includes an NFL championship, 4 All-Pro seasons, and a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Known as one of the finest pure passes in NFL history, Jurgensen led the league in passing yards in 1996, 67, and in 1969. And he was named a member of the NFL's 1960 All-Decade Team. Now, for more on the legacy of number 9, here's the voice of the Commanders, Brian Weinstein.
Thanks, BC. I'm not old enough to remember Sonny Jurgensen playing, but I've seen the highlights, I know the stats, and was really privileged to work with Sonny, the broadcaster, and his personality clearly fit the style of play that we've all seen through the years. He's singularly the greatest trade acquisition in team history, and he still holds the record for the most touchdown passes in any single season in team history. But his legacy for me at 53 and millions of others who are around my age or younger are really as the voice of the team, good and bad. He became can't miss TV when he was working with local legends Glenn Brenner and George Michael, and was part of the unforgettable trio of Frank Herzog, Sonny Jurgensen, and Sam Huff as the team's all-time radio booth. Sonny really was a supernova. He was funny. He was gregarious. He was the type of person who was the center of attention in every room, and it was always in a really good way. it's rare that somebody becomes a Hall of Famer as a player and as a broadcaster. And the last one is a little bit subjective, but in many's opinion, he did both of those. And he clearly is one of, if not the most influential person to ever play and represent this franchise. He truly was a legend in every sense of the word. As we send it back to you, Brian.
Rest in peace to Sonny Jurgensen, a true legend that will forever be missed. Now let's take a look at Sonny's top 5 presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the health of the nation's capital since 1890. Now the 4-time All-Pro played 18 seasons in the NFL, 11 with Washington. The Hall of Famer recorded over 3,200 passing yards, 255 touchdowns, and over 2,400 completions. Jurgensen averaged just over 147 yards per game. Fellas, some big-time numbers for a legendary quarterback. Now, Sonny made his impact as a legendary quarterback in Washington, and fellas, we have a young quarterback in Jaden Daniels who is looking to do the same. Jaden Daniels and the new offensive coordinator, David Blau, spent 2 seasons together while Blau was the assistant quarterback's coach. Now, Blau spent time with offensive minds like Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, and of course, Cliff Kingsbury. And Jaden spoke on Blau last week out at Radio Row. This is your Can't Miss Moment presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders.
Now you got a new offensive coordinator, so it's going to be different, but the same because certainly this is someone who knows you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to work with Blau and what he's going to bring. Obviously, he knows me, been with me for 2 years, so we kind of could bounce ideas and build this offense together.
What is your work going to look like in the offseason?
I'm just putting my head down and working. I'm taking it day by day. Not really trying to count too much, looking forward, but staying present in the moment.
Great catching up with quarterback Jaden Daniels. And now let's take a look at 5 numbers over his career in the burgundy and gold. Currently, he has over 4,800 passing yards, 33 touchdowns through the air, over 1,100 rushing yards, and 8 rushing touchdowns. Excited to see Blau and JD5 in this offense next season. And someone who is super excited to break down this offense is our guy, Logan Paulson, who is over in the film room. It's time for Mission Ready, powered by Big Bear AI. Mission Ready AI for a rapidly evolving world. Logan, take it away.
Thanks, BC. And now for our final part of what makes David Blau as an offensive coordinator. It's how Cliff Kingsbury and the offense that he's been in for the last 2 years could impact what this offense looks like heading into 2026. This is something that I think is a lot of fun. So this is an empty formation. There's no back in the backfield. Jaden Daniels in the back by himself. This is something people want to do. They want to get 5 eligibles out in the routes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when we do that, we really stress the offensive line. And one thing I thought Cliff did a good job of is kind of coming up with this double chip protection. We're going to chip the ends here and then get the eligibles out late into the down. This does a couple things. It lets us stay with our 5-man pro, and it lets us get to some deeper concepts down the field. And I think this is a good tool to use because, one, I think it helps the offensive line, again, the second most difficult position on the offense, and it lets the quarterback keep his eyes down the football field. There's no play action from the backfield. Well, we still get some of the principles of play action in terms of concepts. So let's check this out. So let's take a look. Drop back. Great job on the chip help on the perimeter here. Great job. Great job. Look at this beautiful pocket we have in the middle here. Jaden can keep his eyes down the field. And we can get these concepts where in this quarters match, which is taken over the NFL, we can really stress zones. Like this guy now has to relate to this, and we're able to hit Luke McCaffrey over the top on a deep post route. So this all starts with the protection. This all starts with the principle. Empty rules. How do we make the protection a little bit better? And we get this result of big plays down the football field, maybe the play of the year off of this kind of 5-man protection hybrid with the chip help, okay? The other thing that I love about Cliff is he did a really good job kind of pulling some stuff from Kansas City where they get to 4-man overload. So if you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all on this side of the football, right? This affects how defenses have to play you, right? This backside safety, instead of being able to play over the top and match and help this corner out, now I have to relate to the 4-receiver side. I have to push this way. Essentially, as an offensive coordinator, I've created a one-on-one here with the best football player on the field, and that's Terry McLaurin. And so just by formation, I've created good matchups. I've created an easy read for the quarterback. And when I put Terry in this situation, I'm going to come up here, put a little sauce on this thing, hit the fade like I always do, and I'm going to win the ball down the field. This to me seems like something that, again, Blau can learn from Cliff, right? Just a principle, right? Formations, four-man overloads, ways to create one-on-ones for Jaden, just make his life and job a little bit easier, okay? So we've got protections, we've got concepts, one-on-ones, Terry McLaurin making huge plays down the field. Love to see that. Want to see more of that in 2026, and we will. Great job there. Love that. The other thing that I thought Cliff had a great feel for, and hopefully David Blau can draw from, is the screen game in the low red. So the red zone starts here at the 25-yard line for most teams. As we kind of work our way into the red zone, it becomes harder. Windows get smaller in the back end of the defense, right? What's a good way to get an easy throw for the quarterback? Let's run a little screen game here. We're going to get misdirection here with Debo Samuel. He's going to push out here. Everybody's going to kind of rally this way. We create some space. We get Bill Krosky-Merritt working an angle route underneath. Look at the timing here by the offensive line, right? Catching the ball behind line of scrimmage. We get two blockers out in front. Love to see it. And we get Bill, who's a great playmaker, in space, attacking downhill in the low red. Easy completion for the quarterback. So what I want David Blau to learn from this, right, is this is an easy completion. This is an easy play design. Deleverage the quarterback so the design of the play is great. And when we're calling this is also super important. So we got the pass protection and empty. We got the ability to create one-on-ones. We get the screen game in the red zone. Love that. And again, this is all going to be so fun to watch in 2026. And it's going to be great to see some of these playmakers in 2026. B, back to you.
Let's take a look at some of the Commanders' offensive weapons heading into the 2026 season. You see the big names right there. Jaden Daniels is getting ready for year 3. Then the man, Scary Terry McLaurin, and our rookie 7th-round pick who will be going into year 2, Jacory Krosky-Merritt. Excited to see our Commander squad in 2026, especially with our new coordinators. We heard from our new offensive and defensive coordinators earlier this week. Let's check it out.
We get to kind of build it up from the studs around what Jaden and Terry and Laramie and all these guys do really well to, put them in the best position to be successful. And that's what's exciting with our staff, even pulling from all these different experiences, new coaches coming in who have, backed up Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and coaches who have been around Drew Brees and developed young quarterbacks, and being able to pull the collective so that we can all collaborate together and make this the best possible thing is what's really stimulating right now.
I think when you see joy out there, guys are playing selflessness, and you're seeing a team defense, and you're seeing guys who they don't care who makes the play, as long as someone makes the play, and they're willing to take on a double team or take this pick so that you can kind of clear up. And they're going to learn that the word sacrifice, although it has a negative connotation, will be seen in a different light, meaning it's not what am I willing to give up, it's what I'm willing to do for. And having that mindset amongst the whole team will provide that joy.
And here is a look at the career for Durante Jones. Jones began his NFL career with the Dolphins back in 2016 as the assistant defensive backs coach. He then made a stop with the Bengals before joining the Vikings coaching staff in 2020 as the defensive backs coach. Now, Jones spent a season as a defensive coordinator at LSU before rejoining the Vikings in 2022 as, again, the defensive backs coach. He's been involved in some very, very potent secondaries, and we're happy to have him here in the burgundy and gold. Fellas, let's get into more about Durante Jones and this defense. It's time for Securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. And you know what? I'm gonna stay with you, London, because you're the defensive guy. You in the building.
I'm the only one.
You have the most interceptions in this
not.
place. But London, when you look what he's been able to accomplish so far in his career, the people he's worked under, what are your expectations for the first-time defensive coordinator?
Well, just knowing that he's coming from Minnesota, playing under that, working under Brian Flores, and that ultra-aggressive defense. One of the things that you look at, you have to be able to put pressure on this quarterback, impact, dictate the terms of engagement to the offense, and we know he's going to bring a big chunk of that style with Flores to this defensive unit, but also the Mike Zimmer effect and impact that he has. So he'll combine those types of things and make it the Commanders' defense.
Rubbish. All right, let me tell you this. At the end of the day, what this guy gonna bring some high-octane defense. All right, he's gonna be aggressive, uber aggressive.
Ain't that what I just said?
Not really. He's going to dictate the terms, and he's gonna dictate the pace.
Is there an echo?
No. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say something. No.
Sound familiar to me.
I'm just trying to deliver the message the way it should be delivered. And no, we're getting a lot when we get this coaching. I'm going to stop right there.
Fred even stood in front of London. That's just like he said, I'm just going to block him completely. Now, Logan, we know you were in the film room a lot. What have you seen from the film that makes you say, okay, these are things that I like about him that maybe we could see for our defense in 2026?
I mean, I think like Fletch was saying, and like Smoot said too, he was talking about the pressure package. And I think when you look at the pressure package, man, it is so detailed. Like their ability to kind of build everything off of that zero contour. No safety in the middle of the field. Looks like man coverage. They've got palms. They got quarters. They got cover two. And then they do a great job of off of that bringing four-man overloads. And so I think about the Zimmer impact, man, and that's the whole crux of that defense when it first came out from a blitz perspective. So again, he has been in part of some staffs that are extremely innovative, dictating, right, Fred? To the offense, and I think this is a perfect example of that.
He's just using big words.
No, you said that.
I'm citing your source.
And Tanner, last week on Command Center, we saw a video of him out on the field with a lot of high energy. We know Dan Quinn is a high energy guy. How do you see a guy like this, especially a young coordinator, impacting the team that we have right now?
I think that's what stands out the most, the youth part of it. And you look at it, a guy 46, 47 years old, you don't expect that to be young. But we played in this league for a long time, and most of our coaches was much older than that age. So just knowing that he has that effect and knowing where he's coming from, I think just listening to all those guys kind of chiming in off of what they're talking about, I just spoke to you guys about being on the field and having to deal with teams that's putting so much pressure on your quarterback to where you can't even get off the field or get up there into your route before the ball come out. That's what always worried me, and that's what I want to see from this defense. I want to see us have a kind of defense that's getting after the quarterback, and making it hard for guys to get into their routes.
And Fred, you talk, like, one of the things that sticks out to me is the defensive backs are playing so well.
Yeah.
And you always talk about how that pressure makes it so much easier for you guys in the back end.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, more, it's a time thing.
Yeah.
Like, we play by seconds and milliseconds. At the end of the day, if the quarterback is forced to throw the ball before he wants to throw the ball, we tend to make plays on that. But if a quarterback can stand back there and have all day to make those throws, they're going to sit there and pick you apart. But if I got that clock in my head and I know we're aggressive defense, I'm usually tending to play downhill instead of playing backwards, and that's the difference. All the great defenses I've been on, we play forward. We don't play backwards.
Fletch, is that true? Because you have more picks than him.
Well,
right?
yeah, I was about to say, as the guy who has the most interceptions amongst us right here, obviously Santana and Logan played offense, and so I'm really just talking to Fred. But the other thing, yes, it's true about getting pressure and knowing that ball's going to have to come out. What I love about the way the Minnesota Vikings attacked you is because they had so many guys up in the line of scrimmage, they overloaded the protection. And a lot of times it may have only been 4 rushers, but they would get free runners to the quarterback, and they're forcing him to make decisions after the ball is snapped. He's trying to figure out, is it man-to-man? Is it zone coverage? Where's my outlet? Where's my hot route? And as you saw, I mean, we got shut out against this the same Vikings defense. So I can see why Dan Quinn said, hey, I want some of what these guys are doing, and I want Durante Jones to be my defensive coordinator.
And Fred, when you look at Durante Jones' resume and you see all those different defensive backfields that he was able to work with, it makes me think immediately of Mikey Sanderson, Trey Amos, and our young guys that will be able to benefit from that as our resident defensive back, man. How excited are you to see him get his hands on guys with so much talent?
Well, his defenses actually help the back end. See, some defenses are back end friendly, some back end, here go the pressure on you to make it happen. I think he's back end friendly, and he's going to play a lot of cover 2, a lot of cover 4, but he's going to have some zone blitzes in front of that. And that's what you want to see. Like right now, I think, if especially if you watch the Super Bowl, you watch Seattle Seahawks literally rush with 4, and they cover with 7. And like, if you have the ability to do that from time to time, it allows you to really play high-end defense and not even be under pressure on the corner. Like, you don't want your corners to always be under pressure. Unlike London, I was a pressure corner, all right? Just put the pressure on me. I can handle it. Different corners can't.
Hey, man, the main thing is we're about to get after people's hind parts.
There you go.
It's going to be aggressive defense. And Tanner, you touched on it. It doesn't matter. You didn't care who was in front of you because you know if that quarterback didn't have enough time, even if you routed him up,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Excited to see what Durante Jones can do, especially because we had some guys make some plays last season. It didn't go our way, however, there were some big numbers put up. So right now, it is time for our winning numbers, brought to you by Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And fellas, these winning numbers are Commanders' defensive leaders from last season. Interception leader Mikey Sanderson in year 2 had 4 interceptions. Von Miller came in on the back end, was our sack leader with 9 sacks. And then, of course, our leading tackler, Bobby Wagner, is entering the next season with 2,000 tackles and 162 in 2025. Really looking like the late great London Fletcher. Fellas, it's not just Bobby getting the chance to pass one of the best to ever do it. Bobby also received a prestigious award this past week. Last Thursday at the NFL Honors, Wagner earned the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award for his efforts in the community. Wagner, partnering with the Children's National Hospital, honored his late mother in support of the hospital's pediatric stroke program. Here's what Wagner had to say about this prestigious honor.
You know, every time I try to help somebody, every time I see somebody in need, I say, I got you. Because we are, look at this room. This room is truly blessing, a truly special room full of so many amazing people. And there's so much we can do together. I know there's a lot of craziness going on in this world right now, but, you know, there's not much this room can accomplish, and we can be the people that say to the world that I got you. And so as, you know, the world looks crazy, as things get crazy, somebody's going to be looking up to somebody, wondering if they have somebody that said, I got you, and I hope that I'm the light to say that I got you. And me standing here is my mom in current flesh, and she's not able to be here, but she lives through me, and everything I do is for her, and I honor her every chance that I get.
Congratulations to the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. But it wasn't just Bobby out at the Super Bowl. Our Get Loud crew spent the week catching up with Washington legends, NFL media personalities, and much more. Head over to the Commanders YouTube channel right now for the full episodes. Now let's take a look at some of the best moments from Fred's Super Bowl week. We let our boy outside. This is your best seat in the house, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
So finally it looked like, by God, there might be a chance that I could get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Who is this man?
That's CeeLo Green.
You are correct.
You look at his stats, you got me, Ray, these are guys I'm comparing to. Patrick Willis, just got in.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer, man.
Take me through your Super Bowl, especially against Washington. What memories do you have?
Oh, we got beat pretty bad.
But you know,
my phone blew up. I was fortunate enough to break that one, and so I sort of thought there was a chance, so I kind of kept it quiet. Everybody was like, "Oh man, that's the guy."
Shout out to the Get Loud crew, getting things done out in San Fran. We let Fred out the house, y'all. You had a good time over there.
I enjoyed myself. The weather was great.
You was in real form, myself.
And I want to know that people know these men.
Hey, that dude was a paid actor.
No, he wasn't. No.
He organically said CeeLo.
He organically said.
I was so happy. Okay, I was happy you got a chance to have those moments.
What'd you say?
How much did you pay him?
So my question is, knowing that we know you always trying to tell us, man, he's CeeLo's little brother and he look like Bookman. Did you tell those guys to say that before?
I did not. I asked him, do you know this man? And when I asked him, did you know this man? He said, I went to his concert. I had nothing to do with that. But it was enjoyable, man. Yeah. But I really enjoyed talking to Earl Lacker, talking to Andre Reed, all of these Hall of Famers, and all of the Hall of Famers I talked to said the same thing, that I believe you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, amen.
And it's coming sooner than later, hopefully, now that they starting to clean everything up and get their stuff together, brother.
Yeah, man. All right, man.
You cleaned it up a little bit, right? Running about to swing on your ass. Running about to hit you.
I'm going to give you back. I got a big pop for
Well, it's great to have Fred back in the building. We are so glad he decided to come home and kick it with us here on Command Center. For Logan Paulson, Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, and the future Hall of Famer, London Fletcher, I'm your host, Brian Cober Jr. We'll catch y'all next week on the best show in the world, Command Center.
Command Center was filmed at Big Bear AI Command Center Studio. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.